if you didn't already seem to understand, apparently grammar and syntax is somehow, and I struggle to want to know how, white supremacist and somehow racist. And this is apparently coming from the mouth of a teacher.
As an educator, as well as just a human being.
Okay.
We need to remember that things like this.
Grammar is racialized white supremacist culture. Why? From who? Where did this topic come from? From the president of LAUSD Teachers Union at a House of Representatives meeting last night. Where and why? This is grammar we've been speaking for centuries. When did it become something that we could say is somehow bigoted and racialized white supremacist culture? Please explain.
Is white supremacy.
How?
The idea that grammar, that proper syntax, that whatever it is that you think needs to be corrected in a moment of someone expressing or saying something is racist. I say this to educators because that tweet was from educators attacking another educator who is a woman of color and also our union president, the second largest teachers union in the United States. And she is the first woman of color to be our president.
Who cares? How does proper grammar equal white supremacy? Like, get to that point.
And if you know LA.
I don't know LA.
Deal. So the fact that we have educators who are saying with their full chest that what she said was incorrect and trying to police her language because of grammar, because they were upset they did not get their way, even though a majority vote went through the House, really speaks to who these educators are. And this is a call.
Teachers who more likely than not are English teachers who more likely than not don't have time for that broken English known as AAVE, since you want to talk about a woman, person of color, being the leader of the group. Like, let's be real here. A lot of that AAVE is not exclusively universal. Everybody don't know what certain abbreviations mean. That is why we got proper grammar and we got plain English. That's not just slang. That's not just abbreviations. It's words everybody can understand. How in the blue fuck is that white supremacist?
All in. And I want to be honest about that. That it truly is a call in because I'm not naming names. I'm just saying.
And also you're white!
As a group need to work on do better. Because if that's what you're saying out front, publicly, saying that all right there, like, honey, what is going on? Because if that's what you're saying, what is happening behind your closed door in your classroom then?
I could take a guess. You know, an English teacher is trying to teach motherfuckers basic English!
Like, really think, is that how you would talk to a student in your classroom? And if it isn't, why do you think it's okay to talk to an adult that way? Like, let's all sit with that and stop throwing a fit on Twitter by attacking other people. You can be upset, you can post your upsetness, you can post how unfair it feels to you. That is fine. But you should never use that harm, that trauma, that hurt to go and attack another human being.
What?
Especially a human being that is leading us, especially when they are a woman of color.
Listen, you can talk about people leading us and leading this and then leading that and then leading this and then leading that. The education system in America is god awful. Not just in Los Angeles, but all across the country. It's just terrible. You have all these people getting giddy over LeBron owning a school that apparently has the majority of the students dumb as fuck. Like, you can't sit here and talk about how this black person is leading us. This black person is creating great dividends for all of us. It's great because a black woman is leading us. What does any of that have to do with, I don't know, white supremacy and racism? You didn't explain that one good time. And the amount of word salad that came out of your mouth frustrated me to biblical fuck. Because if you're going to illustrate a point that something is a problem or someone said something that was insensitive, you would have to explain how. And you just saying, you need to understand that you need to check your attitude at the door. You need to understand that there is an innate privilege and you talking to certain individuals a certain way, there is innate privilege in you speaking about a group of people. Like, you could just explain it and people will still probably disagree, but at least you'll have a full thought out sentence or paragraph or soliloquy or a monologue that lets people know you actually mean what you say and here's how you plan to explain it. But you didn't. You just stood up and said it all day. Like, no, don't do that. Doing that makes you look stupid and weird, and you can never illustrate a point doing something like that. Next time, be concise and understand one thing. I'll even help you out. Your maniacal ranting proved nothing. It just made you out as somebody who's a little bit weird, who can't seem to handle the fact that people are trying to teach grammar, and teaching grammar has nothing to do with white supremacy or racism. Trying to make it about that because a bunch of people dare criticize something a black woman said makes you so boring and stupid at the same time. It makes me wonder, are you even well thought out and well structured to teach a group of kids, teenagers about any fucking thing, let alone grammar?